Toyota's solid-state lithium-ion battery development with Panasonic, promising that technology seems to be at least 5 years out from today.
What if I told you Toyota might have just unlocked the secret to charging an electric car faster than it takes to fill up your gas tank? It's a breakthrough so big that Tesla, BMW, and just about every other automaker are scrambling to keep up. Today, we're diving deep into Toyota's revolutionary solid-state battery technology that promises to completely transform how we think about electric vehicles. The range anxiety killer. Let's be honest, range anxiety is real. You know that feeling when you're driving your EV and watching those miles tick down faster than your phone battery during a Netflix binge? Yeah, we've all been there. Right now, even the best electric cars on the market are hitting some pretty hard limits. Toyota confirmed plans to launch solid-state EV batteries with 10-minute fast charging and up to 750 miles, 1,200 kilometers WLTP range. But here's the kicker. Most current EVs barely crack 300 miles on a good day. The Tesla Model S long range, around 405 miles. The BMW iX xDrive 50, about 380 miles. And that's if you're driving like your grandmother on a Sunday cruise. Hit the highway at 80 miles per hour with the AC blasting, and those numbers drop faster than a rock. But Toyota's solid-state batteries are promising something that sounds almost too good to be true. 750 miles on a single charge. That's like driving from New York to Chicago without stopping. Imagine never having to plan your road trips around charging stations again. Here's what makes this so incredible. Current lithium-ion batteries are basically liquid chemistry packed into a case. They're bulky, they degrade over time, and they take forever to charge. Toyota's solid-state technology flips the script entirely. Think of it like this. If current batteries are like carrying around a bunch of water balloons, messy, unreliable, and prone to leaking, solid-state batteries are like carrying around solid ice cubes. Compact, stable, and way more efficient. The solid electrolyte means more energy can be packed into a smaller space, which translates to a longer range without making your car heavier or bigger. The charging revolution. Now, let's talk about something that'll blow your mind, the charging speed. We've all been there, sitting at a charging station for 45 minutes, watching paint dry while our car slowly sips electrons like it's savoring fine wine. Toyota confirmed plans to launch solid-state EV batteries.
Toyota's chief scientist Jill Proud made a very important solid-state batteries
with 10-minute fast charging. 10 minutes. That's less time than it takes to grab a coffee and use the restroom on a road trip. But wait, there's more science behind this magic. Current batteries heat up when you charge them fast. It's like trying to drink a milkshake through a straw really quickly. The liquid electrolyte gets hot, the battery management system freaks out, and everything slows down to prevent damage. Solid-state batteries don't have this problem. The solid electrolyte can handle much higher currents without overheating. It's like upgrading from that tiny straw to a fire hose. Way more flow, way less resistance. Here's a mind-bending comparison. Imagine if your smartphone could go from dead to 100% in the time it takes to tie your shoes. That's essentially what Toyota is promising for car batteries. And here's something most people don't realize. Faster charging isn't just about convenience. It's about completely changing how we think about car ownership. No more planning charging stops. No more range anxiety. You could literally treat an electric car like a gas car, but cheaper and cleaner. The current Tesla supercharger network? It's impressive, but even their fastest chargers take about 20 to 30 minutes to get you from 10% to 80%. Toyota's tech could make that entire charging experience feels like a quick pit stop. The science behind the magic. Let's geek out for a minute and understand what makes these batteries so special. Don't worry, I'll keep it simple. No PhD required. Traditional lithium-ion batteries have three main parts: a positive electrode, cathode, a negative electrode, anode, and a liquid electrolyte that lets ions flow between them. It's like having two islands connected by a bridge made of water. It works, but it's not the most efficient or safest setup. Promising longer range and faster charging than Tesla, Toyota's solid-state batteries replace that liquid bridge with a solid one. Imagine replacing a rickety rope bridge with a solid concrete highway. Way more traffic can flow, way faster and way safer. But here's where it gets really interesting. Researchers have developed a novel cathode material for all solid-state fluoride-ion batteries in collaboration with Toyota.
Toyota tests a different battery technology of theirs, the fluoride ion solid-state battery that is in development with...
This new technology promises to double the energy density of electric vehicle batteries, extending their driving range significantly. Double the energy density means you can either have the same size battery with twice the range, or half the size battery with the same range. Either way, it's a win for car buyers. The solid electrolyte also solves another huge problem: battery degradation. You know how your phone battery starts dying faster after a year or two? That's because the liquid electrolyte breaks down over time. Solid electrolytes are way more stable, meaning these batteries could potentially last the entire life of the car without significant degradation. Toyota has also figured out something called dendrite prevention. In regular batteries, these tiny metal whiskers called dendrites can grow and eventually cause short circuits or fires. The solid electrolyte acts like a bouncer at a club, keeping these troublemakers out. The reality check. Now, before we get too excited and start planning our 1,000-mile road trips, let's pump the brakes and talk reality. Toyota is set to become one of the first automakers to introduce a passenger vehicle powered by solid-state batteries by 2030. That's still about 5 to 6 years away. In tech years, that's like 3 lifetimes. And here's something Toyota isn't shouting from the rooftops: cost. These solid-state batteries are currently way more expensive to manufacture than traditional lithium-ion batteries. We're talking potentially thousands of dollars more per car, at least initially. Think about it this way. The first flat-screen TVs cost $10,000. Now you can get a better one for $300. The same thing will probably happen with solid-state batteries, but it's going to take time and massive scale to drive costs down. There are also some technical hurdles that Toyota is still working through. Manufacturing these batteries at scale is incredibly challenging. The solid electrolyte needs to be perfectly uniform. Even tiny imperfections can cause problems. It's like trying to make a perfect sheet of glass, but at the molecular level. Japanese oil giant Idemitsu Kosan
is an oil refining in Japan, with the world's most urgent mission
is building a new large-scale lithium sulfide plant that will supply the raw material for Toyota's solid-state batteries. This partnership shows Toyota is serious about scaling up production, but it also highlights how complex the supply chain is for this new technology. And let's be real about timelines. Toyota has been talking about solid-state batteries for years. They're not the only ones. Companies like QuantumScape, Samsung, and even Tesla have been working on similar technology. The race is on, but nobody's crossed the finish line yet. The competition scramble. While Toyota is making headlines with its solid-state claims, it's definitely not alone in this race. The entire auto industry is scrambling to solve the battery puzzle, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Tesla, the current EV king, isn't sitting still. They're working on their own advanced battery chemistry, including their famous 4680 cells that promise better energy density and faster production. But even Tesla's most optimistic projections don't match Toyota's solid-state promises. BMW is partnering with Solid Power to develop its own solid-state batteries. Mercedes is working with QuantumScape. Ford is investing billions in battery research. It's like a high-stakes poker game where everyone's going all in. But here's what's fascinating. Toyota has been surprisingly quiet about EVs for years. While Tesla was grabbing headlines and other companies were rushing to market with electric cars, Toyota was playing the long game, focusing on hybrid technology and betting big on solid-state batteries. It's a classic tortoise and hare situation. Tesla sprinted out of the gate and built an impressive lead, but Toyota might be positioning themselves to leapfrog everyone with superior technology. The Chinese companies aren't sleeping either. BYD, CATL, and other Chinese battery manufacturers are investing heavily in next-generation battery tech. They've got the scale, the government backing, and the motivation to dominate this space. And here's something that might surprise you. Some industry experts think the real winner might not be any of these big names. There are dozens of battery startups working on breakthrough technologies that could change everything overnight. What this means for you. Let's get practical. What does all this mean for regular people who just want to drive a good car without breaking the bank or the planet? First, the good news. If Toyota delivers on its promises, electric cars could finally become as convenient as gas cars. No more planning your life around charging schedules. No more range anxiety. No more waiting around for 45 minutes while your car charges. But here's the reality check. The first cars with solid-state batteries are probably going to be expensive. Think luxury car prices, at least initially. Toyota will likely debut this technology in its premium vehicles first, then gradually work it down to more affordable models. However, this could create an interesting ripple effect. As solid-state batteries become available, current lithium-ion battery prices should drop significantly. It's like how the introduction of smartphones made old flip phones dirt cheap. For current EV owners, this news is a double-edged sword. On one hand, your car might become less valuable faster than expected as better technology emerges. On the other hand, the overall EV market will benefit from improved technology and lower prices. If you're thinking about buying an EV right now, you're probably wondering, should I wait for solid-state batteries? The honest answer is, it depends. If you need a car now and current EVs meet your needs, don't wait for perfect technology that might still be years away. But if you can wait and you're holding out for that game-changing EV experience, Toyota's solid-state timeline might be worth considering. The bigger picture. This is about reshaping entire industries and how we think about energy. Better batteries don't just mean better cars. They mean better grid storage, better renewable energy integration, and potentially even better phones, laptops, and every other device that uses batteries. Think about it. If we can store solar and wind energy more efficiently, we can rely less on fossil fuels for electricity generation. If electric cars become truly convenient and affordable, we can clean up transportation, which is one of the biggest sources of carbon emissions. The geopolitical implications are huge too. Right now, China dominates battery manufacturing.
As of this writing, it is the only Chinese EV battery company that has begun to export its products abroad.
If Toyota and other companies can create superior technology and scale it up, it could shift the balance of power in the global automotive industry. There's also the infrastructure question. If cars can charge in 10 minutes, do we need as many charging stations? Or do we need different types of charging stations that can handle the massive power requirements for ultra-fast charging? And here's something wild to think about. If electric cars become this convenient and have 750-mile range, it could accelerate the decline of the internal combustion engine much faster than anyone expects. We might be looking at the beginning of the end for gas stations as we know them. The skeptical view. Now, let's play devil's advocate for a minute. Not everyone is convinced that Toyota's solid-state promises will pan out as advertised. Some industry experts point out that Toyota has been talking about breakthrough battery technology for years without delivering. They've been conservative about EVs, focusing on hybrids, while competitors like Tesla grabbed market share. There are also legitimate technical questions. Can Toyota really manufacture these batteries at scale while maintaining quality and keeping costs reasonable? Can they solve the durability questions that have plagued solid-state batteries in lab testing? The 750-mile range claim sounds incredible, but it's worth noting that range estimates often don't match real-world performance. That number is probably based on ideal testing conditions, perfect weather, efficient driving, no highway speeds or air conditioning. And let's talk about charging infrastructure. Even if Toyota can build batteries that charge in 10 minutes, can the electrical grid handle hundreds of cars pulling massive amounts of power simultaneously? Are we going to need to upgrade power plants and transmission systems to support this? Some critics also argue that focusing on longer range is missing the point. Most people drive less than 50 miles per day. Instead of 750-mile range, maybe we should focus on making 300-mile range batteries cheaper and faster to charge. Timeline and expectations. let's get real about when you might actually be able to buy a Toyota with solid-state batteries.
A solid-state battery, broadly, that'll be replaced by a solid-state membrane. So you can divide that into two primary classes.
Toyota is set to become one of the first automakers to introduce a passenger vehicle powered by solid-state batteries by 2030. But automotive timelines are notoriously optimistic. Remember when autonomous cars were supposed to be everywhere by 2020? Let's break down what by 2030 actually means in automotive speak. First, we're looking at pilot production starting around 2026 to 2027. This won't be thousands of cars. We're talking maybe 100 to 500 vehicles for initial testing and validation. These will be ridiculously expensive proof-of-concept vehicles, probably costing more than a McLaren. Then comes the limited production phase around 2028-2029. Here's where Toyota will likely debut solid-state batteries in an ultra-premium Lexus model. Think $150,000 plus price range, maybe 1,000 to 2,000 units globally. This isn't about making money, it's about proving the technology works in real-world conditions and building manufacturing experience. And that assumes everything goes according to plan. Battery development is notoriously difficult to predict. There could be manufacturing challenges, supply chain issues, or technical problems that push timelines back further. My realistic prediction? The first Toyota with solid-state batteries will be a limited edition Lexus in 2029 to 2030, costing around $120,000 to $150,000. Mainstream Toyota models like Camry or RAV4 with this technology won't arrive until the mid to late 2030s, and even then, they'll likely debut in hybrid form first before going full electric. The wildcard factor is competition. If another company beats Toyota to market with working solid-state batteries, it could either accelerate Toyota's timeline because they can't afford to be left behind, or delay it because they might need to redesign to stay competitive. The automotive industry is littered with revolutionary technologies that took 20-plus years to become mainstream, from fuel injection to anti-lock brakes to hybrid powertrains. The investment angle. For those thinking about the financial implications, this battery breakthrough could create some massive opportunities and equally massive risks that most people aren't even considering yet. Let's start with the obvious play: Toyota stock itself. The best solid-state battery stocks are from companies working to mass-produce this technology in the electric vehicle market. Toyota has been trading sideways for years, while Tesla grabbed all the EV glory and market cap. But if they deliver on solid-state promises, we could see a complete reshuffling of automotive valuations. Toyota's conservative approach to EVs suddenly becomes genius if their technology leapfrogs everyone else. But here's where it gets really interesting. The supply chain disruption potential is enormous. Current lithium-ion battery manufacturers like CATL, LG Energy, and Panasonic could see their multi-billion-dollar production facilities become obsolete overnight.
The lithium-ion battery market is progressing. However, there are certain limitations in the energy densities.
That's creative destruction on a scale we haven't seen since smartphones killed the camera industry. On the flip side, companies positioned for solid-state production are sitting on potential gold mines. Japanese oil giant Idemitsu Kosan is building a new large-scale lithium sulfide plant that will supply the raw material for Toyota's solid-state batteries. This partnership alone could reshape the entire battery material supply chain. Idemitsu's stock has already started moving on this news, but most investors still don't understand the magnitude of what's happening. The materials play is fascinating too. While everyone's been focused on lithium mining stocks, solid-state batteries require different materials entirely. Sulfide electrolytes, ceramic separators, and specialized coating materials could see explosive demand. Early investors in these niche material companies could see returns similar to what lithium investors experienced from 2020 to 2022. But here's the scary part for traditional auto investors. This technology could accelerate the decline of internal combustion engines faster than anyone expects. If Toyota really delivers a 750-mile range with 10-minute charging, It eliminates every remaining advantage of gas cars. That means oil companies, gas station chains, and the entire fossil fuel automotive ecosystem could face a cliff-edge decline rather than a gradual transition. The geopolitical investment implications are huge too. China currently dominates battery manufacturing and has been using this as leverage in trade negotiations. If Japanese and American companies can develop superior solid-state technology, it could shift global automotive power dynamics. This isn't just about car companies. It's about national competitiveness and energy security. For retail investors, the timing is everything. Solid-state battery stocks are still mostly speculative plays based on promises rather than production. In the great race to define the next century of energy, solid-state batteries stand at the crossroads of hype and high stakes. Early investors could see massive gains, but they could also see total losses if the technology doesn't pan out or if they pick the wrong companies. The smart money is probably diversifying across the entire solid-state ecosystem rather than betting on individual winners. Toyota for the automotive integration, material suppliers for the supply chain play, and maybe some pure-play battery technology companies for the high-risk, high-reward exposure. But remember, we're still years away from mass production, and the stock market has a tendency to price in future success long before it actually happens. Toyota's working on a solid-state battery that could completely change the EV game. Up to 750 miles on a single charge, a full recharge in just 10 minutes, and a lifespan measured in decades. It's not hitting the roads anytime soon, though. The tech is still expensive, hard to produce at scale, and comes with plenty of engineering hurdles. But if Toyota can pull it off, it could rewrite the rules of the auto industry and give Tesla, and every other EV maker, a real reason to worry. So, is this Toyota's big moment to leapfrog Tesla and dominate the EV world, or is it just another overhyped promise? Let me know in the comments. I read them all and love hearing your take.